if you are a woman who is capable and competent and can do all those things on their own, on your own, they don't want a man because the men out there there's very few. And the few that there are going to be wanted by every single girl. So then they're going to go, right? So it's like, what do you do? And that's basically what's happening. I know more single great girls than I've ever had in my life, and very few eligible great guys. Very few. And the guys I know who I'm friends with, they have the pick of the litter. They can go out with girls who are like literally more than half their age. And those girls are like vying for them and dying to go out with them. So
we have, but both parties are to blame. Okay. Men, young men, for a variety of reasons, some societal, some is on them, are economically and emotionally unviable. They're less mature. They literally mature. Their prefrontal cortex matures at a slower rate. They're not going to college. They've been told by the wealthiest, deepest pocketed companies in the world they can have a reasonable facsimile of life online with an algorithm. Why go out and make the effort to get friends when you can go on Discord or Reddit? Why get a job when you can make money trading crypto on Coinbase or stocks on Robinhood? Why go through the effort and the rejection and the humiliation and establishing the skills and getting your mom or your gay friend to dress you, working out, taking the risk, going to a place, putting up with the bullshit and the rejection of finding a romantic or a sexual partner when you just have you porn? And so you have an entire cohort of men who have sequestered from society. They don't get those skills. They go down a rabbit hole and they become almost sort of just non-viable mates.
See, the question that you got to ask when you watch a video like this is what makes them a viable mate? Because she says she knows so many amazing women, but just not that many amazing guys. What makes, or qualified guys, whatever word she used, eligible, what makes these guys eligible? Is it the money or what is it? Because I just did a video, the economic video and stuff like that, where I talk about, basically how things were in the 90s and back to where it was much easier for a man to provide for a whole family, nonetheless a woman, versus, now where everything has anywhere from 3 to 5x as far as expenses. We talking mortgages. College tuition is like 10x type shit. Like it's crazier. It's way crazier, and when you get to the wage, the actual wage that we get paid, the average wage, it hasn't even doubled. So it hasn't even 2x'd. So as far as what we got going on economically, as a young dude, you're not supposed to have it together anyway. You're not really supposed to have it together. You're supposed to have it together by your mid-20s to mid-30s and stuff like that. Typically back then. Now it's like, bruh, so many people graduate college because he's like, people are not going to college. It's a fucking scam. It's a fucking scam. So when you look at this, we could point at the porn, we could point at the Reddit and the socializing and stuff like that. You could point at that as much as you want to talk about the development of man. But when we get to the real nuts and bolts as far as money and careers, society, as far as the economy, and even just corporate, as far as doing stuff like corporations, as far as doing stuff like putting out ghost jobs and doing mass layoffs and all types of shit, like everything is pretty much fucked for everybody for the most part. But the young dude's gonna feel it the worst.
If I wanted to take you on a first date, would you want it to be something casual or fancy?
Casual. I don't really do dates. I don't like meeting new people. Ever since I got my heart broken once, never again. I'm going on dates.
Well, how did he break your heart?
He just beat me. That's it. He didn't let me go anywhere. He pistol whipped me. He broke all my phones. Okay.
How long were you with him?
3 years.
What gave you the courage to leave that situation?
I talked to him and I still want to get back together, even though he fucked every friend I had. He insulted me in every way. Now it's to go back.
What's making it so hard to leave?
The dick and the love. And I'm just in love with everything. I'm crazy. I fell in love with everything about him. I would still want to be with him right now.
So you don't see that as a red flag in yourself, that you're going after the asshole?
No, because I would just say, growing up, I was shown love different. Like, that's love to me.
But what makes you think you don't deserve better?
Because I haven't found it better. Well, I have, but like, I was still in love with him. I would still think about him 24. Like, I don't know.
She said so much, and this is how come I get really fascinated by P-Star interviews, because a lot of these chicks who be dealing with a lot of like mistreatment and stuff like that, they deal with a lot of trauma. And before I even go into that, or I don't know if I'm going to go deeper into that, but I want you guys who always say, oh man, you need all this money. What did she say as far as why she couldn't leave? She didn't say she couldn't leave because he was paying all her bills, because he was a Ferrari man, because he got so much money. She said it was because of the meat. It was because of the meat, and that she liked everything. There's probably some other aspects there, but that was the only specific thing that she mentioned. You also got to look at the fact that he hit all her friends and stuff like that. Even though we all look at it as disloyal and, just bad, it shows pre-selection and stuff like that. This is a very damaged woman. This is the thing that I need you to understand. This woman is not a good representation of most women, but there are little pieces and traces of this that you can see in a lot of women. A lot of women be gluttons for punishment. This chick said, I was loved different growing up. Like, she really opened up. She really said that, she was shown love different. And that's how come when it comes to this type of shit, a good dude is not really going to cut it for her. It's not going to be too much. I done seen chicks like this experience a truly genuine good dude that they were actually attracted to because of physical and just whatever. And they just be like, yo, you can't be real. Like, you not fucking nobody else. You not. And they just find a way to sabotage it. Trust me, I've seen this multiple times. They find a way to sabotage it by messing with the dude who was karate kicking them down the steps. So you got to watch out when you mess with these types of chicks, but they gravitate towards men who are a very big detriment to them.
So when you know it's time to trick on a girl, when she don't ask for nothing.
When the woman's asking me for things, then I'm like, oh, you think I'm a sucker.
When she's just a vibe, and she just shows you that she's happy to be around you and spend time with you. I reward bitches for shit, excuse me, because she's not a bitch at that point, she's a woman. So I'm gonna reward her for not asking me for nothing. That's when you get something.
On the original post for this, I seen a lot of chicks upset saying, oh, you'll do all that and you won't ask for nothing and the dude still won't give you nothing. Listen, man, it's really, and look, if you a babe, this is free game. I'm going to give you some free game and never say I ain't give you nothing. I told a chick a long time ago, she was like, why don't these dudes be trying to fuck with me a certain way, da-da-da-da-da. And I told her, like, listen, it's certain dudes that are relationship minded. And if you look at the last dude you was with, what happened? He left you for another babe that he cuffed, right? Before that, you could think of 2 or 3 relationships publicly that you've seen him in. So that's a relationship guy. As where when you look at a different type of guy, you don't be having no relationships. Like you ain't ever seen him in a relationship. So when it comes to air quote tricking or spending money on chicks, giving chicks gifts, whatever the case may be, there are guys who do, there are guys who don't. Now, as far as guys who don't, it doesn't matter how long you wait or anything like that, they not gonna do it. But when we talk about guys who do, it varies. It varies. The one thing I will say is that most men do not like a chick that is actively trying to get something out of them monetarily. Or chicks that are trying to bait to get something monetarily, like, oh, I'm in distress, my phone bill, I can't pay it, oh, my car note, my insurance. That type of shit. It's like, okay, this is somebody who don't got their responsibilities in order, but also they're trying to signal for me to pay something. That's what women do. They come and they complain about shit to try and see if you're going to spend some money. That's a little test that they do. But if a dude is willing to spend money on women, and that's something that he actually does, and you don't ask him for anything and you give him value, he'll be ecstatic to spend some money on you in the future.
All the women are dating up in age till they get into their like late 30s, 40s, and then they start reversing back to the 20s.
Interesting.
Do Asians do that too?
No, the opposite.
What you mean?
It depends on what kind of Asians, right? I'm an immigrant. Yeah, I think we consider academia way more important.
Okay.
And we're way more pragmatic. For example, when a Asian girl is selecting a partner or mate, she will value jobs, stability, credit score
Okay.
way more than those macho stuff.
Oh.
That's why you see a lot of Asian girls with nerdy white guys.
Okay.
Because they don't see that being, not masculine enough. Like, being masculine is not our top priority.
Yeah.
It's about, like, you have a stable job.
Practical.
Practical. Are you kind? Also, we don't like threatening guys.
There was one guy that I dated who was so nice, so cute, took me on the best date, so fun. Like, we had fun. Every single date we had fun. But I did not feel emotionally connected to him. Like, I didn't feel, and it wasn't even that I wasn't attracted to him, because he was an attractive guy, but there was just something lacking, and I was able to recognize it quickly. I was able to recognize it quickly, and instead of being like, oh, but he's so nice. He's such a nice guy. He treats me so nice. He has money. I don't have to worry about anything with him. This is what we do as women. We talk ourselves into situations that we genuinely don't want to be in, because there's almost like a guilt that you feel when someone's nice to you and treats you great, but you don't feel connected to them in a romantic way. Like, as a friend, we could be friends all day, but I just wasn't feeling it. So I had to tell him, that that's how I felt, because I wanted to be honest, and I felt like, he kind of wanted to push things along, and it wasn't fair to him.
She said every single date she had fun, but she noticed quickly that she wasn't attracted to him. That didn't stop her from going on the dates, because she was trying to convince herself, oh yeah, this is a good dude. He got money and all this stuff. Now, there are two things about this that I need you to know. The first thing, let's just get this out of the way as far as a black woman, because she's a representative of most American women, not even just black women. The thing about her and the thing about these women, they love to get on these podcasts and talk about money, 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 money. Money doesn't make them feel shit. Money doesn't make them feel shit. And women like to feel. When we go back to that other clip of the other girl who was getting cheated on and shit like that, getting cheated on and beat it on, that's sending her through an emotional roller coaster. And she's attracted to those negative emotions and, chaos and all of that stuff. Most women like chaos, but that's, she got some trauma and stuff like that. So that's what the dick. She said the dick. That's what really brought her in and stuff like that, even though she's going through all that drama. So when it comes to the money and stuff like that, and the average American woman, the average Western woman, however you want to put it, it's just not. That's not something that organically attracts them. Let's just get that out the way. Like, even though the dude was well off, and she had fun, she had a great time, he's a nice guy, she wasn't fucking attracted to him. But she was still willing to go on the dates, have that fun, and eat that food. This is the second thing as far as what you were looking at in this clip. This is very important. What you were looking at is conditioning. Conditioning from two things: culture and family. When you compare black culture, or just even the average American culture, to Asian culture, the parents are not screening that hard to see if the guy is husband material and stuff like that. A lot of the values that are instilled in the kids and stuff like that, and a lot of the restraint and discipline and just structure that Asians give their kids and stuff like that, that's in just how they pretty much impose themselves on their kids' life to make sure that, okay, you're going to become a doctor and we're going to be disappointed in you if you're not going to do that. All that's damn near non-existent for the majority of the black community as far as culture. And without me going much deeper, I'm just going to simplify it. When these women are out looking for their men and stuff like that, what their parents think, what their family thinks, weighs on them heavily. As far as black women, from what I've seen, it doesn't really weigh on them for the most part. And when it comes to white women, or just any other race for real, when it comes to black men, that's really the only time some of those other demographics get to thinking about what their parents will think and what their family will think and stuff like that. If you get a white man or an agent, like, everything is cool. That's it for today, man.